What can help children to obey their parents even if those around them are not obedient? When children think about all the good things their parents have done for them, they should feel grateful and want to obey them. Young ones also need to understand that God, the Father of us all, expects them to obey their parents. As young people say good things about their parents, they help their friends to respect their own parents more. Of course, if parents have no natural affection for their children, it might be more difficult for their children to obey them. But when a young person feels that his parents really love him, it can help him to obey them even when it is difficult. A young brother named Austin says, "Though I often felt inclined to try to get away with things, my parents set reasonable guidelines, explained the reasons for rules, and kept the lines of communication wide open. This helped me to be obedient. I could see that they cared for me, and that made me want to please them." Paul also described other qualities that show that people do not have love for one another. After disobedient to parents, he mentioned unthankful. This makes sense, because unthankful people do not value the good things that others do for them. Paul also said that people would be disloyal. They would not be open to any agreement, which means that they would not want to make peace with others. They would be blasphemers and betrayers, saying cruel and harmful things about people and even about God. And they would be slanderers, those who tell harmful lies to ruin the reputation of others. 11. Jehovah's servants are very different from most people in the world because they show genuine love for others. This has always been true. In fact, Jesus said that the only command in the law of Moses that was more important than the command to love other people was the command to love God. Matthew 22:38-39, Jesus also said that true Christians would be known for the love they show for one another. Read John 13:34-35, true Christians would love even their enemies. Matthew 5:43-44. Jesus showed that he truly loved people. He did this by traveling from one city to another to tell people the good news about God's kingdom. He cured the blind, the lame, the lepers, and the deaf. He also brought those who had died back to life. Luke 7:22, Jesus even gave his life to save humans, although many hated him. Jesus perfectly imitated his Father's love. All over the world, Jehovah's Witnesses imitate Jesus and show love for others. In the last days, people also show other bad qualities that we should avoid. For example, many are without love of goodness. They hate what is good and even oppose it. Such people are without self-control, fierce. Some are headstrong. They do things without thinking and do not care about the effect that their actions will have on others. Many who used to behave like fierce animals have changed their personality. This dramatic change was foretold in a Bible prophecy. Read Isaiah 11:6-7, we read there about wild animals, such as wolves and lions, who live in peace with domestic animals, such as lambs and calves. Why would they have peace? The prophecy continues, because the earth will certainly be filled with the knowledge of Jehovah. Isaiah 11:9, animals cannot learn about Jehovah, so in a symbolic way, this prophecy refers to changes that people make in their personalities. Such people pretend to worship God, but they behave in a way that proves they do not. However, among Jehovah's people are many who used to be fierce but who have now put on the new personality that was created according to God's will in true righteousness and loyalty. Ephesians 4:23-24, when people learn about God, they realize that they need to follow His standards. This helps them to make changes in what they believe, how they think, and what they do. It is not easy to make these changes, but God's Spirit will help those who want to please Him. It is becoming easier to see the difference between those who serve God and those who do not. We must be careful that the bad qualities of those who do not serve God do not influence us. We want to follow Jehovah's direction to turn away from the kind of people who are described at 2 Timothy 3:2-5. Of course, we cannot completely avoid everyone who has bad qualities. We may have to work with them, go to school with them, or live with them. But we do not have to think or act as they do. What can help us? We can strengthen our friendship with Jehovah by studying the Bible and choosing as close friends those who love Him.